Does anyone remember this game? Despite the point I'm trying to make in this video, the amount of hours I put into this game indicates otherwise. I've spent the most hours playing this game than any other game on my Switch. I actually don't think New Horizons was a terrible game at all. In fact, I think it did a lot for the franchise, and it makes me excited for the next game. I know New Horizons was a lot of people's first game in the Animal Crossing franchise, which would result in a very different perspective than mine. I grew up playing Wild World and City Folk, and in my high school years, I was obsessed with New Leaf. The fact that you can now decorate the exterior of your town through public works projects was a game changer, and with the boom of the use of QR codes, I had the time of my life decorating my town in ways I could not previously. Of course, there were still frustrating aspects, like only being able to request one build per day and the scuffed nature of placing QR codes down. These aspects were taken into account in New Horizons, with town customization expanding beyond our beliefs. You can now place furniture outside freely, shape the water and cliffs, add paths and QR codes in a more efficient way, and so many pattern slots. That was so great, and you can tell they really wanted to emphasize freedom and customization in this new game. However, despite the improvements they made, New Horizons lost me on so many aspects. The game didn't feel like Animal Crossing. I thought the villagers in New Leaf were robotic, but the ones in New Horizons are on another level. Their dialogue is so brain dead, and even if I try to put in the effort to personalize our relationship, they just seem like mindless dolls. I will say, the way they interact with their environment adds at least some character to them, which is fun to observe, but they still don't have a special presence to me anymore as my neighbors. I mean, people are literally buying and selling these villagers like some asset, because that's literally what they are, just decoration to the island. Also, can we talk about Timmy and Tommy's store? That being the final upgrade? I had been waiting for some kind of update to the store only to find out this is the final upgrade. 3 furniture items per day, no second floor or exciting new part of the store, nope. It's capped at the second upgrade of previous games. I get that instead of upgrading the store, they introduced the plaza at Harv's Island, but it just does not feel the same as the city in City Folk or the plaza in New Leaf. I feel like I'm playing Pocket Camp. And to be honest, the Harv's Island plaza should have came with the release of the game, because by the time it came, I already lost motivation for my island, and probably others as well. Looking back at New Horizons launch, it really felt like a bare bones Animal Crossing. Even with these characters making a return, there's still so many missing, and I understand they can't have every character return every game, but with the existing NPCs having such minor roles, the lively, bustling community feeling that Animal Crossing had just isn't there anymore. There also is just a lack of being able to have fun in the game. In City Folk, just going to the city was an adventure. In New Leaf, there was the island you would go to grind for bugs, but the mini games, man, I took those games for granted. In New Horizons, when a villager occasionally asks you to play a game with them, it reminds me of those mini games from New Leaf, and I wish they came back in some shape or form. I guess the New Horizons equivalent of these activities is going on the island tours, but let's be real, the only reason people go on these tours is to find a cute villager to move in. The sense of adventure is lost after you've been to all the different islands. There's nothing enticing anymore to do or explore after you reach a certain point in the game, and it just becomes a matter of if you have motivation to decorate every crevice of your island. And if you don't, you've probably already quit the game ages ago. I don't think I even have to mention the lack of quality of life considerations, like the lack of bulk crafting, because we've all grieved and gotten over it. Sort of. Crafting in general, I feel, is actually an okay concept. I don't think it was an extremely appealing, exciting feature that enhanced the gameplay all that much, but it at least added some things to do, gathering materials and collecting DIYs. That aspect was fine, but the tools constantly breaking. There are so many problems here. Like, why is there no indicator that can at least warn us that our tool is low durability? And why aren't gold tools invincible? What's the point of crafting a gold tool if it's gonna break? I don't know if this annoying aspect was intentionally counterintuitive, since we were given so much freedom in how we could shape our island. They are inhibiting us with having to deal with crafting and breaking tools, but I personally think that balance wasn't done very well. New Horizons is annoying in ways it wasn't before, whilst giving too much freedom, losing the flavor of the essence of the franchise, which is living a day-by-day secondary life, living among townsfolk and working towards long-term achievements. There were also a lot of little things that were in previous games that added to the charm of the game that didn't make it, like Rossetti appearing if you didn't save, golden fruit, etc. I know some of these, like Rossetti, don't apply anymore due to how the game works now, but it's the buildup of the lack of these little things that make this feel like an entirely different game from the franchise, which isn't inherently a bad thing. The whole concept of this game being on an island, being able to customize everything like never before, and introducing the new mechanic of crafting. It's a bold experiment. I'm sure it took a lot of brainstorming and testing and trialing to make sure these new things work, so the devs probably weren't able to spend as much time on existing concepts and features. And for that, I commend them for trying out and introducing this new version of Animal Crossing to the table. I just hope that moving forward, they consider all the feedback and criticisms that were given to them so they know what direction to take for the franchise. Although I quite enjoy the new terraforming mechanics, there is a fine line to watch out for that leans into the territory of having too much control and basically becoming The Sims or Minecraft. I think New Leaf was the golden age for Animal Crossing because all the mechanics they introduced were so enticing, yet they didn't take away from the classic Animal Crossing experience, even if the game did have its flaws. If they could find that balance again with the new game, with everything that they did do right in New Horizons, I would be so thrilled. And if they decide to continue the experimental route and go in a new direction for the series, that's fine too, because it's freaking Animal Crossing, so Nintendo take my money.